Y'all jamming. Everybody jamming. Let's get started. Get started. All right. Yeah. What's going on, everyone? Ooh, I've been rushing. Trying to get back so we can get this live going. Thank y'all for joining me back. I appreciate it. We are back for another video. If you saw our description, then you already know what it is. So let's get into it. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay. Yes, I see y'all coming in. Come on in. Please hit the like button as you enter. Y'all know this has been a week of tea. We're gonna keep dropping it. I've been running through finding videos and stuff like that. Y'all know Diddy is at an all-time high in conversation. So I want to keep this train rolling. We'll kind of steer off from Diddy maybe next week. But I kind of want to keep the heat on Diddy because there's so much going on, okay? Somebody said, what's up, Caramel and Chad? Hey, Nolly Inspires. Hi. Thanks for being here, as well as everyone else. Let's get into the show. I just left the dentist not too long ago, walked in the door. Y'all know I had to go get my braces tightened up. As y'all can see, I'm not as irritated as I was before when I had them done last time because I took some Motrin. And that kind of helped out a little. It's a little, I could tell a little difference. Like it's a little, I can feel a little pain, but it's not as bad. It's not unbearable like the last time. Because, baby, I had an attitude the last time. I was hurting so bad. But we good tonight. So, nevertheless, let's get into our interview. All right. Okay. Let's get into it. Okay. So, we're going to start with the history behind Diddy's name change. Okay. I found a video that would kind of break down and give you guys some insight on Diddy's name change and why he changed his name. Now, the reason, and from some stuff that I pulled, Diddy, as you guys know, whenever he have like some horrific stuff going on where he gets in trouble, like with the whole Shine situation when he was dating J-Lo, with the whole Pow Pow situation, he changed his name from Diddy to something else after that. As you know now, he wants to be called Brother Love. That's what his name is. Whenever you go and try to Google him and all that and look for stuff for him online, Diddy likes to change his name so that he can reinvent himself and change what the public thinks about him when he does something crazy, okay? This particular video is going to break down to you guys why Diddy changed his name. We were asking what's going on with Diddy's dad. Like, did anybody know who Diddy's dad is? This is going to talk about his dad, give a little family history on him, how Diddy started out in the business, and some things that happened at a young age with Diddy. And it seems like Diddy's kind of been this way his whole life. He's been arrogant. He's been in trouble. He really never gave a fuck about people. And this video is going to explain that. And this is all the way back to when he was much younger, like in his 19 years old. So we're going to talk about stuff from when he was 19 and how he was very sinister and crazy then. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get past this ad. Ooh. All right, let's get past this ad. Shout out to what's happening.
Despite official investigations leaving both Tupac and Biggie's murders unsolved, there's a persistent belief among hip-hop fans that Diddy might...
Let's back you up. All right, so I'm going to show you guys the beginning part of this video where Diddy is kind of like freaking out because there was some type of MTV deal he was trying to get. Of course, he says whatever he wants, he gets. He always gets. This is what he's saying in the video. I'm going to actually show you guys this part, okay? All right, let's get back to it.
I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
It looks like we might be witnessing the ultimate downfall of Sean Diddy Combs, the man who these days goes by the name Love or Brother Love, but whose checkered past is filled with violence, death, and disturbing allegations ranging from grooming to SA and even trafficking. Since his rise from a background dancer to one of the most powerful moguls in hip-hop, Diddy has repeatedly faced allegations of using violence against everyone from his girlfriends to fellow rappers. Most recently, Diddy was sued by his ex-girlfriend Cassie for DV, SA, and trafficking, including alleged depraved forced encounters with other men. And yet, despite the severity of all these allegations, Diddy has somehow managed to insulate himself from criminal investigation. Looking back at his history, it seems there are so many things Diddy has done that have been swept under the rug and kept quiet because he just has that much power. But what history also showed us time and time again is that no one is too big to fall, and it looks like Diddy's power might be running out. Get ready, because in this video, we're taking a deep dive into all the disturbing allegations and separating truth from fiction about the downfall of Sean Diddy Combs.
I define power in a couple of different ways. I couldn't really answer it one way. I define it in impact, the impact you have. Is it positive? Is it negative? There's two ways your power could go.
Sean John Combs was born in Harlem, New York City on November 4th, 1969. His mother, Janice Combs, was a model and a teacher's assistant, while his father, Melvin Earl Combs, served in the U.S. Air Force and had connections with Frank Lucas, the infamous New York drug kingpin whose life inspired the 2007 Denzel Washington drama, American Gangster. In 1972, Melvin was fatally shot at the age of 33 while sitting in his car on Central Park West, and it was later speculated that he was killed for being a police informant. Diddy graduated from Mount St. Michael Academy, where he played football and saw his team clinch a division title in 1986. He earned the childhood nickname Puff because of his tendency to huff and puff when he was angry. Diddy briefly pursued a business degree at Howard University. However, he left after his second year to focus on his dreams of becoming a music mogul. During his college days, Diddy became known for throwing wild parties, attracting up to 1,000 participants. And it was allegedly at one of these parties that 19-year-old Diddy met his mentor, Uptown Records founder Andre Harrell. In 1990, Harrell hired Diddy as an intern at Uptown and later promoted him to talent director. However, Diddy's ambitions were bigger, and he allegedly got involved with some shady industry higher-ups who promised him a life of unlimited wealth and power. But that kind of life comes with a price. And according to long-standing conspiracy, that price was a blood sacrifice. While working as an intern at Uptown Records, Diddy earned money as a party promoter, and he allegedly had a rep for packing places over their capacity, a practice that eventually led to a horrifying incident at City College in Harlem.
Y'all hear that when they said blood sacrifice? It makes me go back to what's the rapper where they just had all these people killed, well, not killed, but unalive. Travis, what's his name? Travis, what is it? What's the boy's name? The rapper. Anyway, I can't remember his name. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Same thing where it was overcrowded. There was a lot of people there and some people were unalived. Okay, that's what made it go back. Travis Scott. I'm sorry. Travis Scott is the rapper. Let's go ahead and get into it.
9 people were crushed to death in a crowd stampede. According to a report by The Source magazine, on December 28, 1991, Diddy and Heavy D organized an AIDS fundraiser basketball game at the City College Gymnasium, and about an hour after the game was set to begin, chaos ensued when more than 3,000 people tried to cram in the already packed gym. 9 people were trampled to death, with the youngest victim, Jabal Rainey, being just 15 years old. Among the deceased was also the pregnant girlfriend of rapper Father MC, whom Diddy had signed to Uptown Records.
A few times I thought I was going to pass out because it was hot on that staircase. You know what I'm saying? And when they closed the doors, I knew something was going down.
City College was a deep experience for me. I was there, I was on the floor, I watched people take their last breath, regurgitate, and die.
Gene Deal, the man who would later become Diddy's personal bodyguard, was working security at City College that night, and he later recalled how he tried to warn Diddy they needed more people to clear the entrance, or someone would end up dead, but Diddy told him not to worry about it.
I said, I told Puff right then and there, I say, Puff, if they don't do a boxing one outside and get these kids off the door, somebody gonna die tonight. He said, Gene, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You just handle the stars once they come inside.
Now, Gene also mentioned in the same interview that Diddy's partner, Jessica Rosenblum, was also at the scene that night.
They got trapped down the stairs. After they broke through the first glass, they got trapped downstairs, the second door, because Jessica had got scared. That was Puffy partner at the time, Jessica Rosenberg. She got scared, ran downstairs with the money box, and shut the door behind her, and all those people got shut down in there.
Jessica was one of the most prominent female party promoters in the hip-hop scene in the early 90s. And while very little is known about her private life, she was reportedly the mastermind behind Diddy's infamous white parties that he started throwing in the early 2000s. And there's also been a lot of conspiracy theories about Rosenblum being part of some kind of secret Hollywood society. The only other prominent female hip-hop music promoter in NYC at the time was Maria Davis. And in 2015, Maria made some very interesting comments about Jessica Rosenblum in an interview with Vibe magazine. "You're always nervous trying to get people through the door. And back then, I was the only Black female promoter. There was nobody else doing it the way I was doing it. It was just me and Jessica Rosenblum. Puffy, Russell Simmons, and all of them used Jessica. They used her and God used me." Now, the fact that Maria said God used her and the others used Jessica made it sound like she was implying that Jessica was pure evil. And a lot of people interpreted this as Maria saying that the likes of Diddy and Russell Simmons sold their souls to the other side. When Vibe magazine prodded Maria to explain what she meant by that statement, she suggested that Jessica was connected to some of the most powerful men in the music industry, including Liar Cohen, the man who has been referred to as hip-hop's evil puppet master. Jessica Rosenblum was very good friends with Russell Simmons, and then...
Pause. This guy, this white guy that they just showed, Lyle, he is always with Jay-Z. For some odd reason, I've seen a lot of videos with that guy with Jay-Z, okay? He's with Puffy a lot too, but I've seen him a whole lot with Jay-Z. Let's continue.
So where I had to fight for Mad Wednesday, they didn't have to fight, you know. They got it easy. So clearly, Diddy knew how to network, and he established important connections with the upper echelon very early on in his career. Now, at the time of the 1991 Stampede, Diddy was largely unknown to the public. However, as his fame grew, people started speculating that this stampede was some kind of ritual sacrifice that Diddy did to prove to his superiors he was ready to do anything for fame and power. Also, after the 2021 Astroworld crowd crush killed 10 young people during Travis Scott's performance, a lot of people started saying that Travis's reaction to this tragedy was eerily similar to how Diddy reacted to the 1991 Stampede. Basically, they moved on like nothing happened. In fact, according to one blind item, after the victims of the Stampede were taken to the hospital, Diddy stayed back to count his cash, and he apparently looked completely unfazed by what had happened.
I forget who was performing. Anyway, the one thing I found interesting was that the people who were helping Diddy with the event found him counting his cash in one of the back rooms after the 9 children had been taken to the hospital. He denies this, of course, but multiple people have said that they saw him with their own eyes.
Following this tragedy, multiple wrongful death and personal injury lawsuits were filed, and yet no criminal charges were brought against Diddy or other organizers. This incident was allegedly one of the reasons why Andre Harrell fired Diddy from Uptown Records. But Diddy already had a plan. In 1993, he founded Bad Boy Entertainment, forming a partnership with Arista Records and bringing along Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls. Diddy and Biggie initially connected in 92 after Diddy expressed interest in meeting Biggie following a feature about him in the Source magazine. During this time, Biggie formed a friendship with West Coast rising star Tupac Shakur, and according to Biggie's associates, Biggie and Pac were very close, often spending time together outside of work and socializing when Tupac went to New York or Big to LA. However, their friendship came to an end after the 1994 incident at Quad Recording Studios in Manhattan, where Tupac was shot 5 times. Tupac, believing the attackers had ties to Diddy and Bad Boy, was convinced that Biggie knew the attack would happen, but didn't warn him. Biggie, however, denied any involvement or awareness of the planned attack. Both Biggie and Diddy were present in the building when the shooting happened. However, when the police arrived, Diddy appeared relaxed while Biggie seemed genuinely shocked and concerned. This incident was the spark that ignited the already tense atmosphere between East and West Coast rappers, tragically culminating in the murders of both Tupac in September 1996 and Biggie in March 1997. And despite official investigations leaving both Tupac and Biggie's murders unsolved, there's a persistent belief among hip-hop fans that Diddy might have had some involvement in both of their deaths. On March 8, 1997, Biggie and Diddy were attending a Soul Train Awards after-party organized by Vibe magazine at Peterson Automotive Museum in LA. The party was eventually shut down due to overcrowding, and Biggie left with his group in 2 Chevy Suburbans, heading back to his hotel. He sat in the front passenger seat with 2 companions while another individual drove. Diddy traveled in the other vehicle accompanied by 2 bodyguards.
Y'all hear that? Diddy traveled in the other vehicle other than with Biggie. He always traveled with Biggie. This particular night, he rode in a different SUV, an SUV behind Biggie, which I thought was very strange because he always rode in the same car with him.
While Bad Boy's security director trailed behind in a Chevy Blazer. As Biggie's SUV paused at a red light roughly 50 yards from the Peterson Automotive Museum, a black Chevy Impala pulled up beside it. The driver of the Impala lowered the window, brandished a gun, and shot at Biggie's car. Struck 4 times, Biggie was rushed by his entourage to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where surgeons immediately operated on him. But sadly, despite the emergency efforts, Biggie Smalls was declared dead at 1:15 a.m. He was just 24 years old, and it didn't take long before people started blaming Diddy for setting Biggie up, pointing out that Diddy pressured Biggie to go to LA just months after Tupac was shot. There were also rumors back then that Biggie was trying to leave Bad Boy after he found out Diddy was allegedly stealing from him.
Didn't I tell y'all that?
Sources even claimed.
Did we talk about that? This is confirming everything that we already talked about. Okay, let's continue.
Before Tupac was shot, he and Biggie made amends and were planning to start their own label. However, in his first interview following Biggie's death, Diddy denied claims suggesting that the murder resulted from a financial dispute, and he refused to speculate on the motive behind the shooting.
With someone out in Los Angeles, what's your theory? I know that's completely not true. Biggie didn't have no money conflicts with anybody. And as far as my theory, it would be inadequate for me to speculate. I would just be like everybody else to speculate on who did this or why it was done. I mean, one thing I do know is that it was evil.
While it was widely believed that Suge Knight, CEO of Death Row Records, orchestrated Biggie's murder in retaliation for Tupac's death, a lot of people have speculated that Diddy might have had prior knowledge of the plan and allowed it to happen. An article published by Rolling Stone in December 2005 claimed that Diddy refused to cooperate with the investigation and encouraged Bad Boy employees to do the same. The article also quoted Valletta Wallace, Biggie's mother, who expressed her distrust in the police and seemingly accused corrupt LAPD officers of hiding evidence related to her son's murder. But Valletta didn't just doubt the police. She also allegedly warned Biggie about Diddy, writing in her memoir, "I believe Sean loved my son after he was dead. I used to tell Christopher all the time not to trust Sean." What's also worth pointing out is that Biggie reportedly had no plans to be in LA the night he was murdered, and everyone knew traveling to LA was risky given that Tupac was killed just 6 months earlier. According to Kirk Burroughs, a former executive at Bad Boy, Biggie was scheduled to go on an international press tour in London that day. However, Diddy called and instructed Biggie to stay in LA.
He was supposed to leave that early morning, go to London, and we would be out there for 2 or 3 days, and then he would go back to New York and go home. Diddy called Sean P. Diddy, whatever his name was during that time, called late Friday night, early Saturday morning, saying he's not going to London. Call Arista, cancel it.
Gene Deal also made similar comments, and he suggested that Diddy knowingly offered Biggie's life to save himself.
You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk. He couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in L.A. for him to finish your album when, in fact, you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit, because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm going to do is, y'all want the sheep? I'm going to put them out the pasture. Catch them if you can. If you the wolf, if you got that wolf in you, catch them if you can.
That's
now,
evil.
as for Tupac, there's been a lot of speculation that Diddy had a hand in his death as well. After Diddy's former associate and Southside Crips member, Keef D, was recently arrested for his involvement in Tupac's murder, reports surfaced alleging that Diddy offered $1 million to the Crips to kill both Tupac and Suge Knight. According to LAPD Detective Greg Kading, an informant told the police all the way back in 1997 that Diddy ordered both hits, which Keef reportedly later confirmed.
Bolstering Keef D's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac.
Diddy, however, has persistently refused to discuss these allegations.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Now, some believe that Diddy's alleged announcement of a $1 million bounty on Tupac and Suge Knight might have been just an attempt to stir up tension and not a direct order for a hit. Prior to the shooting, Tupac and his crew jumped Keef D's nephew, Orlando Anderson, after Mike Tyson's fight at the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas. The confrontation between Tupac and Orlando reportedly started over Orlando stealing a death row chain from a death row affiliate, Traven Lane, and there were rumors Diddy was planning to use this chain to provoke Suge Knight in a music video. So Tupac's tragic murder might have been the result of a heated situation and nothing more. But despite this narrative, many fans remain convinced that Tupac's murder wasn't random, and that Diddy's $1 million offered to the Crips for targeting Suge and Tupac was a serious proposal. However, Diddy was never investigated over these allegations, and following Tupac and Biggie's deaths, he changed his name to Puff Daddy and tried to reinvent himself as a rapper. But trouble followed Diddy everywhere he went, and in a bizarre coincidence, almost exactly 8 years to the day after the 1991 Stampede, Diddy was involved in a nightclub shooting that left him facing multiple charges and led to a highly publicized trial. The shooting took place on December 27th, 1999 at Club New York in Times Square, where Diddy was partying with his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, and rapper Shine, who was signed to Bad Boy. According to a report by Paper Magazine, around 2:20 a.m., Diddy accidentally knocked a drink out of someone's hand, and a man mockingly threw a stack of money in Diddy's face. The man was allegedly Brooklyn ex-con Matthew Allen, better known by his street name, Scar. An argument broke out, quickly escalating into a full-blown shootout, and, according to multiple witnesses, some of the rounds came from Diddy's gun. 3 people were injured, and 1 woman was shot in the face. Amid the chaos, Diddy and J-Lo escaped in his '99 Lincoln Navigator, but were pulled over by the police after running a red light. The police found a stolen 9mm handgun in the trunk of the car, and both Diddy and Jennifer were arrested. J-Lo spent 14 hours in a cell, and this was reportedly the final straw for her. She dumped Diddy on Valentine's Day 2001 and never looked back. As for Diddy, he was charged with 4 weapons-related charges and with bribing his driver to lie about the gun being his. Meanwhile, Shine was also arrested and charged for his involvement in the shooting. But while Shine was found guilty and ended up serving 10 years in prison, Diddy managed to escape prison sentence with the help of high-profile lawyers, Johnny Cochran and Benjamin Braffman. It was later widely reported that Diddy threw Shine under the bus, and Gene Deal claimed that Diddy pressured witnesses that were brought to him to testify against Shine.
And some of those people who were making statements, they was making making statements against Sean. Yo, bro, listen to me. Y'all hearing it from me, but Sean said it himself in his interview. You supposed to be my brother, and you got people testifying against me. Those people were testifying. They were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Sean, what they saw Sean do.
Shine later converted to Orthodox Judaism, and this led to an urban legend about Diddy being the devil incarnate because multiple bad boy artists turned to God after dealing with Diddy. Shine embraced Judaism, Mace became a pastor, and Loon became a devout Muslim. Anyway, the 1999 shooting was what led Diddy to change his stage name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, in an attempt to distance himself from his criminal past. He would go on to change his name and rebrand his image multiple times following different public controversies. Back in 2017, he changed his middle name to Love, shortly before his ex-girlfriend Kim Porter died under mysterious circumstances.
I decided to change my name again. I'm just not who I am before. I'm something different. So my new name is Love, aka Brother Love. I will not be answering to Puffy, Diddy, Puff Daddy, or any of my other monikers, but Love or Brother Love, okay?
Almost exactly a year after Diddy announced he was changing his name to Love, Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of his 7 children, died suddenly at age 47. According to the official ruling, Kim died of complications of pneumonia. However, many people expressed doubt about this, with some even suggesting that Diddy had Kim killed because she was allegedly writing a tell-all book about him. One of these people is an industry insider and Jay-Z's former background singer Jaguar Wright, who claimed that Kim's initial autopsy showed traces of some kind of poison.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Jaguar also suggested that multiple people who dealt with Diddy were planning to release tell-all books and documentaries before they either got sick or died under suspicious circumstances.
Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died, and Al B. Shore was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a cult.
And then, when Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy on November 16th, just one day after the 5th anniversary of Kim Porter's death, Jaguar publicly offered her support to Cassie and claimed that Kim warned Cassie about Diddy before she died.
I will advocate for you, because see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us, and I know Kim had some very good advice to give you, and I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe.
Another individual who publicly claimed that Kim didn't die of pneumonia was her ex-husband, Al B. Shore, who mysteriously fell into a coma just months after he shared a post referring to Kim's death as murder. In July 2020, Al shared a since-deleted video of himself crying and wrote, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned of Kim Porter's murder and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia." Albie also added the hashtag, "Don't let the love songs fool you," seemingly referencing Diddy's tributes to Kim. And then in November 2021, Albie posted a throwback photo with Kim and claimed she told him she was running, and he advised her to call the FBI. Albie also added a comment, "You would never believe what she went through." Now, as for Cassie, she made a series of highly disturbing allegations against Diddy in her lawsuit, claiming that he subjected her to repeated beatings, SA, and even forced her into sexual encounters with other men. Diddy settled the lawsuit within 24 hours for an undisclosed amount, and while his lawyer, Ben Brafman, claimed the settlement was not an admission of guilt. The public consensus seems to be that Diddy settled to avoid the discovery phase in a potential trial. Meanwhile, more evidence surfaced, seemingly proving Diddy's history of violence against women, including this photo of Cassie that she originally shared in 2014 after returning from a trip to Dubai with Diddy. Other women who were involved with Diddy have also previously shared their horrific experiences, among them Diddy's ex Gina Huen, also known as Virginia V, who claimed in a 2019 interview that Diddy punched her in the head and stomped on her stomach.
We was upstairs and we were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground and then he like stood over me. So I was like laying on my back and he stood over me and he started like punching me like this. Like he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head and I was just like covering my face.
Following Diddy's settlement with Cassie, 50 Cent also seemingly suggested that there are many more victims who will soon come forward against Diddy. In a since-deleted Instagram post, 50 Cent wrote, "He paid that money real quick. Should have done that before the sharks saw the blood in the water. And here they come in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, every woman he put his hand on." Now, as far as we know, there is no active criminal investigation against Diddy at this moment. However, fans on the internet are saying it's only a matter of time, and this could likely be the beginning of Diddy's deserved downfall. One fan wrote, "Going against someone as powerful as Diddy was no easy feat. I hope that Cassie is proud of speaking up and speaking out regardless, because she really did that. And her courage is going to be felt by so many other victims to come forward. This isn't the end. Not at all." And another person added, "The chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah.
I am glad Diddy's downfall is finally happening. He has gone on too long without facing serious consequences for grooming, abusing, and threatening young female and male artists. I see more women and men in the music and entertainment industry coming forward to share their stories. But let us know in the comment if you feel the same."
Okay, so that's it for that. Now, I have been looking up some things online, and it was brought to my attention that Diddy's kids, which is Kim Porter's twins, they are currently staying at Kimora Lee Simmons' house right now with everything that's going on. Y'all know the internet is buzzing with all this stuff going on with Diddy, all these cases that are coming up. As you guys know, Kim Porter and Kimora Lee Simmons were very, very good friends, almost like sisters. Kimora, she's already expressed that Kim Porter's body needed to be exhumed so that she can have a thorough investigation, that she didn't believe that she passed away from lobar pneumonia. But the twins are at Kimora Lee Simmons' house, from my understanding, from what I'm told, because of everything that's going on with Diddy. And maybe it's not safe with everything that's come out with Cassie. A lot of people are upset. Like I said, more cases have come to the forefront as well with Diddy. So the kid, his twin daughters are at Kimora's house because they get along very, very well with Kimora's girls as well. So that's it for that. Now, you guys also know that Diddy's other, and I think I talked about it this morning, his former bodyguard, Roger, what's his name? Roger Bonds. They're trying to say that maybe Diddy might have spooked him or may have reached out to him, because now his Instagram and all of his social media pages have now come down. Like none of his social media, he just went live, I want to say maybe late yesterday. As of today, all of his videos are down. Everything is down. I don't know if Diddy and some of his people have spooked him or made him take his stuff down, or I don't know what's going on, but his social medias are gone. And I thought that was very weird. And I hope he's okay wherever he is, because he was talking about, he actually was there with Cassie to comfort her. He saw her in several moments when she was assaulted by Puffy. There was nothing that he could do. He did talk about a time where he was in a SUV whenever Puffy was stomping and hitting Cassie, and he tried to intervene, and with no avail, he could not. So he talked about a lot of stuff. He revealed a lot of stuff in his lives, and his social media pages have now been shut down. And I don't know why. Again, I hope he is okay wherever he is. All right. Again, that is for Roger Bonds, which is Diddy's ex bodyguard. I don't think nothing's going to happen to Gene Deal, because y'all know he's done a plethora of interviews. He is still talking. So I don't think they're going to be trying to fool with him, but I don't know what it is with this Roger Bond dude, because his shit is taken down and it's weird. So I'm gonna keep my ear to the streets on that. All right, so I want to do one more interview and then I'm gonna let you guys go. It's not that long. It's a guy named by the name of Mark Curry, not the actor. I know you guys know there's an actor that used to be on the show. This guy's name is Mark Curry. He used to work at Bad Boy Records, and he knows a lot of stuff as well. He's going to talk and share some things, and this is a clip, and it's only like 9 minutes or so long, so we're going to play that, and then I'm going to let you guys go, because y'all know pop-ins are not usually that long, okay? All right. Let me play it back. Let's get past the ad. Y'all enjoying this tea tonight? Y'all enjoying this tea? I hope you guys checked out all the other videos. I've been trying to put some other videos out as well as I come across things. But let's back it up. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue. That's where I saw it.
Mark Curry, happy to have you on the platform, my guy.
Man, I'm thankful to be on the platform, man. Thank you.
That's him.
Thank you, you know.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's a blessing to have you, my man.
Man, it's a blessing to be thought about. That's something that I work hard on. This being here means that much to me. You know, I never thought, you know, I can't say I never thought that this one day wouldn't happen, but I just didn't know when.
So with that being said, for the people that's not familiar with you, introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, my name is Mark Curry. You know, I'm a former Bad Boy recording artist. A lot of people, you know, I made a lot of hits for Puff, gave him a lot of good words to say, inspiration. You know, sometimes a lot of people live through your words, so there's a lot of my words that I may have gave him before in life that he lived through to help make him. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from New Jersey, New York. When I was raised, though, I grew up in Atlanta. I'm a book author, so I wrote a book. I'm a carpenter, master carpenter. Man, I'm just all the above, man. A brother, your brother, yo. That's me. I don't like to put big titles on myself because I feel like I could be anything that I want. I don't have like one set title of me. I think that I could be everything. So when you ask me about me, without me tooting my own horn, I just say, man, I'm amazing.
There you go.
For the people that don't know, right, let them know some of the hits you was a part of.
Okay. Well, a lot of people know me from that one song, as Bad Boy for Life. With It Ain't, you know, It Ain't Changed, that verse. Then I wrote a lot of hits for Puff, like, let's say, the Godzilla song with the Come With Me with Led Zeppelin. Rest in peace, Led Zeppelin. I had the opportunity to work on the song This Is Not America, David Bowie. Rest in peace, David Bowie. I wrote several songs for Puff on his P. Diddy and the Family on the Forever album. I might have did a single on Forever album, the PE 2000 with my man Roger Green. You know, I'm an artist that just so happened to become a ghostwriter by default.
Yeah, that verse you had on Bad Boys for Life was dope.
Yeah, Bad Boy for Life. Yeah, Black Rob. You know, you got Black Rob, Muscle Game. You got Gangsta Lil Kim, Puff, Forever. Man, I wrote the songs with like Cocaine. I did the 8-Ball and MJG Ride With Me. I mean, I did. You know, you do the discog. I have a whole bunch of songs. You know, a lot of people don't know. They'd be like, you only did one song for Puff. Or there's one song for Bad Boys. You check the history, do the resume. I got quite a few of them. You know what I'm saying? And there's plenty more. So that's nothing.
Right. So I gotta ask you, right? You being a part of Bad Boy at one point, news broke today that Diddy, he's stepping away from Revolt. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about these lawsuits accusing Diddy of abuse? What do you think about that? You knowing Diddy, do you think he's capable of doing that, man?
Do I think, yeah? Every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him. You know, power, that's just the selfishness to make you be like that. You know, but with everything that's going on, man, you're looking at they dropping them left and right. companies are parting ways with him. All of that's happening right now because he's tarnishing his own image. What I think is just what I call is a character assassination that's going on right now. Mm-hmm. So it's just another form to silence a man, to humble a person. You know how sometimes you got to humble somebody.
You're right.
Yeah, I think he's being humbled right now, which it took a long time. It takes a long time to humble an arrogant person.
It really does.
So Diddy, he's an arrogant guy.
Very arrogant, selfish. All of those kind of things that you don't like. You don't never see in a true friend or a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, you're a grown man, you carry yourself like a grown man. He doesn't carry himself like a friend. You know.
So you're not surprised when you hear Cassie say that, you know, Diddy, he used to hit her and she had to cover up her bruises with makeup. You're not surprised when you hear that. Because I interviewed Gene Deal, and he wasn't around Bad Boy when Cassie was around. But he told me that, you know, he did the same thing to Kim Porter.
Or you could take it before then, and then you can remember when Misa was dating, Eric Sermon from EPMD? And that was her childhood boyfriend, like, coming up. They was the, you know, lovey-dovey couple. And it was back then. He used to, you know, do that with Misa. So, you know, one thing I always say is, as a man and as anyone in a relationship, we often go through these kind of things. So I've seen it in friends. I've seen it in him. I've seen fights. I've seen all kinds. I've seen fights where he have an argument, fight with a female, whatever it may be. I've seen it with my own friends. But sometimes you say, you know, we all go through things, but once you have a sign of doing it over and over again, that's when it becomes a problem. You be like, so every relationship that you get in, you're violent in them? So you say, you know, I don't have to wait to see what he would, you know, I was around when Cassie was there. I knew Kim Porter before I knew Puff. I met Misa, but, you know, it was a history. When you have a history of the same thing, man, it becomes a problem. Something you do once or twice, you get over. First, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman's the way I was raised.
Period.
And the only person that really put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. Boom. So, you know, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, you know, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, there's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man. It's still a boy, like a bad boy.
And speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust her nose, man. You know. But it was all, you know, insecurities. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity.
Crazy.
So when you see someone doing that, you can imagine everything else they do. What do you think he's going to do if he found her on the phone talking to someone and feels that she's cheating on him or somebody sleeping with his girl? What you think he's going to say? Ooh, I caught you. Ooh, I heard this. Nah, he gonna come in with the, you know, it's gonna be a fight. But that's something that you seen from the inside. When you on the inside looking out, it's like looking at Blueface and his girlfriend always arguing on TV, they toxic relationship. So when you on the inside looking out, you don't really see them like fighting. You just be like, they tripping. This is their relationship. It's been going on like that with them for years. So usually when you notice Puff was in those kind of violent relationships with his females, this been going on ever since 2-3 years. This ain't just something that just happened. This ain't the first fight. It ain't the last fight. You know? Yeah, I noticed all. I seen a lot. I seen him walking with scratches and bruises on his face. And you be like, who scratched you up, dog? Who scratching you? What, you had a fight with a cat?
Not a cat.
What's going on? You know. So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers,
y'all hear that?
Executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. that people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? You know, like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name. Not yet. Could be bad business, bad friendships, bad blood, all of that kind of bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bad boy. Yeah.
That's it. Did y'all enjoy that? He gave a lot in just a little bit of time. 9 minutes and 24 seconds of truth. Okay. I'm going to be digging up some more on him as well, because like I said, he seemed to know a lot. He worked at Bad Boy for years, through like the 90s when Bad Boy was like really hot, where a lot of artists like Craig Mack and all those artists were actually there when they was putting out real good music. You can't deny the music was good, but there was a lot of sinister, dark, crazy, abusive violence and stuff like that going on. You guys heard he just said he put his hands on producers, higher ups, like anybody he could put hands on. Did he have anger issues? And it all stems from the fact that he has some internal issues, and we talked about it before. Men who cannot live out their truth, okay, a lot of times they will direct that anger towards the very thing that they hate the most, which is a woman. Okay, somebody says sounds like hotel. Yeah, it does. It does. Men who are that aggressive towards women, we seen Martell be that way too, when he bucked up on Melody, ran up on her in Las Vegas, and then try to act like, oh, I'm not that person. I would never put my hands on someone. Who, me? I would never hit a woman. But you are still displaying that, and you keep forgetting that TV is forever. Videos are forever. When these types of things are shown in these types of men, it's clearly showing that you cannot live out your truth. So you are hurting the very thing that you feel is standing in your way. And you got to keep these women around you, because you got to keep up this persona that, you know, I keep bad bitches around me. And I'm not trying to offend any woman, but this is how they see us. That's how they see us. That's how they address us. I keep all kind of bad bitches around me. That's what these men, these guys say. People like Diddy, when they don't really want that. He didn't want Cassie. Cassie was beautiful. Go back and look at pictures before she really started fooling with Puffy like that, or Diddy, or Brother Love, or whatever the hell his name is. You guys just saw in the video that I played for you, or heard in the video, where he constantly changes his name when he gets into some type of trouble that's just so far-fetched and just so crazy. He will change his name to kind of separate himself from that, to say, y'all heard him say, I'm not that person anymore. I'm Brother Love. I won't answer to that anymore. But that is who you are. It don't matter how many times you change your name. The patterns of behavior is steady following you. Too many people are saying that they work with you, Puffy, Diddy, Brother Love, or whatever the fuck your name is. And they're saying the same thing about you, that they've seen women be hit. They've heard about Kim Porter's nose being broken, and she's running around telling people that she, you know, fell down and hit her face on the table. We know that's a lie. And then Diddy flying in people from in Saint-Tropez, like special doctors, to come in and fix her nose, and she walked around. There's a picture online with her with a bandage across her nose after she had her nose fixed. So you having her house bugged, you having her followed, you have using your baby mamas, crazy baby mamas, to be following her to find out who she's seeing, what she's doing. Meanwhile, you're seen in public with any woman you want to be seen with. Not that you want that woman, but it's a deflection of what you're hiding, because we already know, and we've heard, I played videos this week to where you it's been said that you like men. And if that's the way you want to live, fine, do what you do. I'm not judging anyone on your sexuality if that's how you choose to live your life. But my problem with everything is that you are abusing the very thing that you're supposed to be protecting, women. With the things that you've done to Cassie, the deposition I was reading up today, there 35 pages is just what they released in her deposition. Her deposition was really up to like 65 pages, you guys, of things that she went through, horrific things that she went through with Diddy. They couldn't even put all that stuff out there for everybody to hear. It would have been so mind-blowing that you guys would have been like, oh my God. Like, it was just that horrific what this girl went through, of her arms being tied to bedposts while she is drugged up, and having men coming in with mask on that she couldn't even see, where she was violated and abused. there was up to 65 pages of her deposition that they had to slice down and dumb down so that we could be able to digest what we're hearing. And the 35 pages of stuff that we heard was like, oh my God, what? So imagine the stuff that they couldn't put in there in terms of what he had done to this girl. And it's amazing to me that this motherfucker, and I got to say that, I'm sorry because I'm a little upset. It's amazing to me that he is still walking around with no handcuffs on, that he has no charges. I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's coming because you are murdering women, you're abusing women, you're trafficking women. Obviously, Cassie was trafficked because she wanted to leave several times. You held her against her will. There were several times that she tried to get away. You made her come back. That was the signs of trafficking. It says it in her deposition. I feel like the feds are going to go ahead and I feel like some RICO charges are coming. I really do. Just because he settled with Cassie does not mean this is the end of the situation. She already put it out there. So now it's up to the feds to step in and say, you know what? I see some things in this deposition that we might want to take a closer look into. And isn't it ironic that the very same thing that brought R. Kelly down is the same thing that mirrors what Diddy is out here doing to women as well? And R. Kelly was also struggling with his sexuality as well. It was said in his lawsuit. And if you go back and look at the surviving R. Kellys, it talked about how he was with men and how he used a man, a particular guy, to lure girls on MySpace. And then he would use the girls that he had, and after he messed up their mind, to encourage other girls to come, and they will call it a party. Diddy is calling these things parties. If you heard it where he was asking, when you guys going to come party with me? So they are dumbing down trafficking women and calling it partying. And when they get you there, something is slipped in your drink and you don't know what the fuck is wrong with you or what is going on with you because you're so out of it. That's how he got Cassie. Made up a fake flyer saying that some type of event or something was going on. He came to pick her up. She got in the car. He gave her this pill. Later found out that it was ecstasy. She took the pill. After that, things went downhill from there. We've already heard stories about how he was saying with the group Danny Kane. Gene Deal already said how Diddy told him, I'm going to drug these girls and I'm going to pimp them out. Same thing he was doing to Cassie. Patterns. We keep seeing it, and it goes all the way back from the 90s, and it's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse. Same thing I feel like is going on with Carisha, aka Young Miami. You are being paid $200,000 a month to be his girlfriend. That's a high price to pay for your dignity, for your body, and for degrading yourself, because it's very degrading to have people that you don't know coming in and you are doing sexual things to please somebody who don't even really give a fuck about it. They are really just living out their fantasies through you. That's why he recorded those things. He really wanted to be in that situation where Cassie was, but he couldn't do that. Those men didn't want him. So he was able to record these things and go back and watch these things, which were very sinister and evil. And he visualized himself being Cassie. That is why he treated her the way that he did, because he would see himself through her. And those spirits that he had contracted through her, through all these other people. Like I told you guys before, I showed y'all pictures. Cassie's eyes looked different because she had all these spirits residing within her. Thanks to Diddy. Just like he has all these spirits residing in him that's causing him to mistreat people and continue to do the very same thing. That's why he don't show his eyes. He don't show his eyes. If you look at Diddy back in the 90s, Diddy didn't wear shades like that. He didn't wear shades like that. If you look at old pictures of Diddy when he was hanging out with Biggie Smalls and all the other rappers, Craig Mack and him back then, he didn't wear shades like that. Now, I'm not saying that he wasn't already possessed, but he has such a possession on him right now that he can't even show his eyes. It don't matter if it's day, night, pitch black, dark outside shit. He might be running into shit. I don't know, but every time you see him now, he is wearing shades because the eyes are the windows to what the heart says, and he has a very, very dark heart. His eyes look different now than how he used to look because he's possessed. Those spirits, you can see them all over him now. When he was saying in the interview, don't call me anything else. Call me brother love. Call me brother love. Really? Nothing about you speaks love. Nothing about you speaks love. And it's a total contradiction. Jesus is love. So the mess that you're doing is a total contradiction, Diddy, to what you are trying to describe yourself. The type of love you're talking about is the love of evil. That's the type of love. God is love. You are seeing yourself as a God, which is why you want people to call you brother love. Yeah, I broke it down. I see through you, Diddy. God is love. So you are seeing yourself as a God. Like I showed y'all the video where he was like, I can get anything. I can do anything I want. Anything that I want, I can get it. That's the mentality that he has. Like the guy says, he's very arrogant. Diddy has a God complex to where no one can tell him what to do. No one can pipe him down. No one can make him, do anything. He is the person that's issuing out all the orders. So now that everybody has everybody at his beck and call, he feels like he's God. The way he treats women, he feels like he's God because he's never held accountable for anything. It's insane. It's insanity for all these women to have come out to say that this man have done this to me. And it's amazing how so many people are unalived and nothing is being done about it. Their deaths are coming up suspicious and nothing is being done about it. And when you are being protected by higher ups in the industry, I believe he's got people in the courthouse, at the jailhouse, at the police station, and everywhere else that's protecting him, which is why they haven't got him yet. R. Kelly had the same thing. They were saying that it was people down at the courthouse in Chicago that he could that was on his payroll, which is why he got away with so many things. Diddy has the same thing. When you have money, you have power. You make things go away when you have money. And he's been able to slip through the crack all these years because of his wealth. But the way he's going to be broken down is, if you heard Miss Sloan Bella the other night when we talked about it, his wealth is going to run out to where you can't pay nobody else. Look at R. Kelly. When they finally drained his bank accounts, he couldn't pay nobody to be quiet no more. NDAs were running out. So now at the end of the day, you left at the mercy of the courts. The higher ups, they're embarrassed now because you messing with Cassie now, doing what you did to Cassie. Cassie opened Pandora's box. So when she exposed Diddy, she is exposing everybody that is connected. And the higher ups are pissed off at Diddy because you done threw their name in the shit too by being messy. And Carisha been talking too. That's why he's distancing himself from her, because she's talking too damn much. He don't like talkers. People that are narcs like that don't like to be exposed. Look at Martell. Every time Mel exposed him, he blow up. Same with Diddy. When Cassie exposed him, now he's in a place where he's pissed off. He's going after everybody that's talking. It's no coincidence that he's going after Roger Bonds. There's no coincidence that his pages are gone. Thank you so much, Soul Star Music Lover, for the super chat. There's no coincidence that his pages have been taken down. All of his life, he's mastered the art of control. We talked about it before. In order to get a person in that state to where you can even traffic them, you have to control them. R. Kelly was able to have all those legions of girls that he had and messed up for life. Mentally, they are still doing things with R. Kelly. Dominique, the girl that was with R. Kelly, she's still dealing with the stuff that she went through with R. Kelly, to where he too made her cut her hair off and made her look like a boy. And she was wearing strap-ons because he was living out his fantasy through these girls. He really wanted to be with a man, and he was with men. Geronda, the girl, already wrote a book and was saying that R. Kelly was taking 9 inches of strap-ons and didn't even flinch. Diddy was caught with a dildo on his sink by a rapper that came to his house to use his bathroom and opened the door, and there it laid on the sink. And he tried to blame it on Mace, who was staying with him at the time. Closeted people can be very dangerous. Diddy is a closeted individual. And when you are exposing that, it can be a very dangerous situation. That is why Cassie and her family are now in protective custody right now. When she let out that deposition, it opened a legion of demons from Diddy. It opened Pandora's box. She had to go into hiding. She had to go into protective custody because we already know what happens when people start talking. Kim Porter was starting to talk. She's not here anymore. Heavy D was starting to talk through his book. He's not here anymore. So many people. So many people. Thank God. Thank God the old boy is still here. Al B. Sure. He was going to do a documentary. Kim was talking to him prior to her death. She knew some stuff that scared the hell out of her. We talked about it. She saw some type of ritual with Diddy and it scared her. And she was running scared before she passed away. I just pulled up something today. I want to share this and then we're going to get out of here. Diddy had already purchased Kim Porter's casket prior to her death. All right, they're saying that Diddy purchased she was buried in a popular golden casket prior to her death. Diddy purchased her casket a month before she died. Why is that? Who does that? Who is out here just purchasing caskets a month before someone actually dies? Now, Al B. Sure had already said that Kim was in perfect health prior to her death. So what were you planning for? That is something that maybe you would do prior to someone passing if they had this long, drawn-out illness like cancer or something like that, that you know maybe the doctors have given up on them to say, hey, there's nothing else we can do. So now you're preparing for a funeral. He bought her casket, you guys, a month before she passed away from pneumonia. Who does that? That's not normal. That's not normal. Beautiful casket. They said that the casket cost up to like $20,000. He put her away nice. He should have. Maybe it was his conscience eating him up because her family was going to do the funeral. Her family was going to put her away, but he went down to Columbus, Georgia and took over everything because he had money and power. So he flexed his authority and took over and rushed things. He rushed the autopsy. So nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes, and her death records and everything with her have been sealed. Go and try to pull up something on. It's been sealed. Does that not sound very crazy? I don't know anyone that just out buying. What am I going to do today? I'm bored. Let me go down there to the place down here and just buy a casket today just because I'm bored. I don't know anybody that does that. Do y'all? It just seems weird to me. It says that he purchased her casket. I have it right here. He purchased her casket, guys, 1 month prior before her demise. 1 month prior to her demise. She died in November. In October, he had already purchased her casket. Did he already know that this was going to happen to her? Was this already planned? Was it already thought out in terms of how she was going to leave this earth? When he said, and he slipped up and said in an interview that Kim Porter told him, take care of my babies. That is something that someone who has an in-depth knowledge of themselves, not going to be here anymore, maybe, would say. If I'm just going to the store, I'm not going to tell my husband, all right, take care of my baby, because I know I'm coming right back. Y'all get what I'm saying? That is something you tell somebody when you don't feel like you're going to be here anymore. Maybe it's something that she saw. Maybe it's something that she felt. Maybe her intuition told her that something was getting ready to happen to her. Or maybe it was something that she knew prior to her leaving this earth. For her to tell him, and he slipped up in an interview, and I'm going to dig it up and I'm going to find it. Because I don't want nobody on here saying, well, Cameron just making shit up. Never. Y'all know I live for a good old receipt. For her to say to him, and he slipped up in an interview and said that Kim Porter's last words to him was, take care of my babies. Why would she say that if she was only sick with just a cold, which he now has in paperwork saying was lobar pneumonia? I don't understand that. Why was there blood on her pillowcase when she only had pneumonia? Why were there blood drippings leading to her bathroom and in there on her bathroom floor if she was only diagnosed in the coroner's report with pneumonia? Who's out here bleeding out with just pneumonia? Something very weird is going on here. And I feel like, just like Kimora Lee Simmons said, she cried her eyes out like a baby in an interview. And she said, something is not right. My friend, I don't feel like my friend passed away the way everybody is saying. She too was saying that she wants a further investigation. And the reason why she's able to talk and nobody will touch her is because the relationship between Diddy and Russell Simmons. Kimora is not going to be touched. Notice with everything she's been saying about Diddy, his kids are over there at her house right now. Ain't nothing happening to Kimora, okay? Kimora, for some reason, Kimora is protected for some reason. Ain't shit happening to Kimora. She's done several interviews where she's talked, and everybody around her have had their demise. Kim is gone. The girl that was in her wedding, who was a bridesmaid that I talked to you guys about, what's her name? Let me dig it. Erica Kennedy. She also passed away, and her death was not solved at all either. They still don't know what happened to her. She was found unalived in her apartment. She was also great friends with Kim Porter and Kimora Lee Simmons. She was writing a book as well about the insides of the music industry and Bad Boy, but she changed the names around. We talked about it last night. She's not here anymore. And two other girls that got into a verbal altercation with Diddy, they are no longer here as well. And their deaths were unidentified as well. We still don't know why they died. Healthy girls, nothing wrong with them. No health issues ever. The coroner, we talked about last night. The coroner that did Kim Porter's autopsy, he's not here. He passed away. His death, they were saying, even though he was in his 70s, they said this man was perfectly healthy. He was found in his bed unalived. Kim Porter was in her bed unalived. Erica Kennedy was found in her bed unalived. The two females that got into the argument with Diddy was found in their beds unalived, and their deaths have not been explained. Something is fishy. And I'm not talking about Tisha. Y'all know I'm messy. Something is fishy. Too many deaths are unexplained. The doctor that did Cassie's breast augmentation, or her not augmentation, but the doctor that did her the fake breast for Cassie. How did he just all of a sudden drive off of a cliff over on a road that he drives on all the time? After he found out that he had to redo Cassie's surgery. When Diddy took her in there the day after, she had already been cut, and the doctor told Diddy no. Why very shortly thereafter, this man's car was found where he had driven off of a cliff on a road that he's driven on several times. So he knew that road. He knew that road. So how did he just all of a sudden this particular day, he just happened to drive off of a cliff? This doctor, who had already said that he found it very strange that Cassie was being treated the way she was treated, and that Diddy was doing all the talking when he was telling the doctor what to do to Cassie in terms of her surgery. Why are you over talking her, and it's her body? And the doctor said he found that to be very strange. It's too many coincidences, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's too many coincidences. It's too many. But we're going to end the video there because y'all know our pop-ins don't usually be an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed all this tea. I've been digging. I'm still digging. I got my good shovel out. I'm going to continue to dig because I want to see Diddy meet his fate. He needs to be locked the hell up. It's too many people's lives that have been taken and he's gotten away. And I feel like it's going to be another R. Kelly situation, whereas justice is going to come. We need a surviving Diddy so that some things can be further explained. If they brought R. Kelly down, Diddy, you coming down too. R. Kelly once was up there as well. He once had millions and millions and sold out and was this high person where nobody thought that he was going to ever be touched. But look at God. Ain't it amazing how God works? He always has the last say in situations, especially like this, okay? But I'm going to keep my good shovel out and I'm going to keep digging. And I'm going to take my drill and all. I'm going to be on this shit here when it comes to that tea. But I'm going to keep bringing it to you guys, all right? So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys hit that like button. And come on back tomorrow. Car Chronicles is in the morning. I will see you guys there. We will have more lighter topics. I try to do my lighter topics for Car Chronicles. And then we're going to do our real hot tea for our pop-ins, okay? So thank you guys so much. Somebody says keep bringing the heat, the year of revelation. That's exactly what this is, guys. And more stuff is going to come out, and I'm going to keep bringing it to my viewers, okay? Thank you guys so much. I saw some content creators in the building tonight. Thank y'all for being here so much and supporting the channel. Thank you, Caramelians, for spending your time with me tonight to hear this good tea and supporting the video. Mods, thank y'all for keeping the trolling down. I really appreciate it, okay? Love you guys all the way down to the ground. See you guys in the morning, and goodbye.